stayed at the Van Pelt's Farm Market. Great strawberries. You don't even need to put sugar on them. They're so sweet. Can't wait. So I'll be making strawberry jam. Strawberries are beautiful. Now let's try one. Juicy, sweet. So we're home from getting the strawberries, and now all I'm doing is taking the stems off, throwing them in whole for this jelly, and it's called freezer jam. The first time I ever had it was whenever I went home with Glory when we were in college, and her mother served it, and it was the best strawberry jelly I ever had. And she called it freezer jam. Well, here, Sure Gel has a recipe for it. You just use a package of Sure Gel. And it's, when you open it, you keep it in the freezer, and then whenever you want a jar, you just put it in the refrigerator. It's not cooked, so it does not lose any of that freshness. And I just think it's wonderful. And it's so easy to make. It's a little time consuming cleaning your berries. Just cutting the stems off. A lot of people slice their strawberries. I do not. I just I use a smasher and smash them. So we'll get this job done. You just have to remember not to throw your stem in with your good stuff. Now, some folk have a hauler. I guess it's called a hauler. I just use a knife. And every now and then I eat one. Now, we had so much rain this year that the strawberries are a little different. I think they could have used a little more sun, but they're still good. Better than when you get them at the big supermarkets. Okay, we've got 4 quarts of strawberries hulled, and so then I'll start tomorrow. I'll make the jam. See you tomorrow. When I make my freezer jam, I don't slice my strawberries, I smash them. So I smashed them yesterday, and I'm ready to make the jam today. Sure Gel used to keep the recipe in the box. They no longer print the recipes. So you have to get online. And if you're smart, unlike me, you'd write it down. But the Sure Gel recipe is so easy. I always use my pots so that I have enough room to mix. 2 cups of crushed berries. I use no water. I just wash the berries and then crush them. There's 2 cups. And I believe it's 4 cups of sugar. 4 cups of sugar. And your measurements have to be exact. 1, 2, 3, 4. You do a good mix, and then you just let that set. You want the liquid in the crushed strawberries to dissolve your sugar. So, you know, let it set about 10-15 minutes. My crushed berries. And this is after I've added the 4 cups. See the consistency? The sugar's too grainy at this point. Now, it's only been 30 seconds. So you let that sit 10 minutes. So I always do 2 batches at a time because it takes a while. So there's 1, 2 cups of crushed berries. 1, 2, 3, 4 sugars, and stir. Now you can see on this, you really have to mix it. Get it all incorporated. As soon as it's incorporated, this is the consistency. And this is the one that I started with. Oh, there's my spoon. The consistency is still pretty thick, so we just have to wait. Now over here you take your Sure Gel, 3/4 cup water, you mix the Sure Gel into the water. Mix it good. And you bring it up to a boil. I want to point out that I've washed my hands before I started cooking. My dad was always one that used his hands when he was cooking. Now he would, when he made a meatloaf, he would taste the raw meat to see that it was seasoned good. I just couldn't do that. Okay, we're up to a rolling boil. And now we simply cook it for 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes later. 3 minutes later, and we're ready to put it in. And then you simply stir. Until the sugar is melted. And the longer you let your sugar and crushed berries stand, the easier this is. There's a little bit of grit in there. I'm going to stir a little more. My jars have been sterilized. And there's our first jar of jelly. My lids have been sterilized. Now these are lids that I've used on canning. And because this is not heated, I can reuse those lids. And that's it. Set it aside. And I use these helpers whenever you're canning, just so that it just makes it easier, so that I don't get product on the rim of the jar. You let your jars sit at room temperature for 24 hours. Then after that, put it in the freezer for long-term storage, or if you're going to use one jar right away, put it in the refrigerator. Now I have another batch coming in. I'll fill this. I'm telling you, this will be the best strawberry jelly that you've ever had. It's like putting a year later, 9 months, let's say January, when you open a jar of your jelly, it'll just be like summer all over, eating fresh strawberries. I'll never go back to cooked jelly. So out of 4 quarts of strawberries that I got from the Mennonites in Ohio, we got 2, 4, 6, 8 pints, and a little bit left over, and this would have been enough to make 2.5 jars. I ran out of sugar, but it doesn't matter because I always like to have strawberries over ice cream. So I'll add some sugar. I can freeze this, add some sugar to it, a little bit of water to make more of a syrup, and add it to my strawberries. So, you know, not bad for 4 quarts of strawberries. And I'm telling you, once you've had freezer jam, you'll never go back to cooked jelly when it comes to strawberries. So my self-reliant peeps, I hope this helps you. I hope you enjoy if you decide to go ahead and make freezer jam. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.